And again, here's a thing where the shadow pen would come into play, and I'd want to extend the shadow a little bit. And you can see most of these don't have shadows, so if you wanted, this might be a time where you would actually just take the shadow away entirely and not worry about having the shadows. Because then, whatever you choose is okay, but you want to be uniform in your decision, because if you have this shadow here, like this, and nowhere else on the map has a shadow, then it's kind of strange having that shadow there. It's like, wait, why is there this shadow here? It almost looks like it's an error or a bug or something, because all of a sudden there's this shadow and the player wasn't seeing that shadow anywhere else on the map before. So that's another, tip that you may want to take into consideration, is just kind of choose, and you can choose like for your whole game on a, a uniform basis for your whole game what you're going to do, or you can also choose just on the map, like, okay, this map, I don't want shadows at all, or whatever, however you want to do it. But let's just say we're adding shadows in here. So we've got to maybe put some in manually, and maybe we could do a little bit up here on this part if we wanted. I don't know if it'll look good like that, but yeah, maybe not on the trees, maybe just on the ground for this one. That could be good. And then here there would be a break naturally, because you've got the the little space here, so we can maybe do something like that to show that it's shadowed from that, but there's a break there. However you want to do it, there's lots of options for you. You can put shadows in here. Maybe I'll just do kind of like we did back on the cliffs and leave it something like that. And then we've got one here. And there would be ones here naturally. So we'll go ahead and draw those in with the shadow pen. And then there would probably be one here too. So let's just do something like that. And maybe here, and we can add one there. And we can add them in like that. And then we would also have them right about there. Okay, so I think that covers the shadows for the most part, unless I missed anything. It's pretty easy if you're doing shadows manually by hand. It's pretty easy to forget to do a little spot somewhere. So, take your time and make sure you haven't missed anything that would make sense to have a shadow on it. So, okay, I think that looks pretty good. And again, you don't have to have shadows at all. Totally up to you what you want to do. So now, as for the ground tile here, let's see. Actually, now that I think about it, the ground tile might mess up all my shadows, huh? Oh, well. Okay. Well, I don't use shadows very often, so it's a rookie mistake, but it's okay to make those. Yeah, see, it's not gonna mess up the auto tile shadows, though. Just the ones that I put in. Oh, no. Maybe it is gonna do it. Oh, well, that's weird. Okay. So putting in the grass tiles, I guess because it was transparent, it wasn't drawing the shadows, but now that I'm actually putting in the grass tiles here, it is adding the automatic shadows to it, that's what's happening there. So that's kind of nice. So I'll only have to go back and replace the ones that it doesn't normally make, like these two here and the ones on this corner. But obviously the faster way to fill this in instead of doing it by hand with the pencil tool is, of course, the flood fill tool. So we'll just click that and add all the why didn't it do that one? Was it a different transparency piece or something? That's weird. But that's okay. We can do it manually. There we go. So in this one I used you'll notice I used the darker green grass a little bit compared to the lighter green grass that we used back on the other map. And the only reason I did that is just, to suggest even more darkness would be in here, just because if this is a forest, there's probably some canopy overhead or whatever of trees, and it wouldn't be getting quite as bright necessarily. So it's just a aesthetic choice. I mean, you can do it however you like. You could have put dirt or whatever, but I just decided grass is probably good here, so I'm just going to go back and put these in a little bit in the couple spaces where it won't automatically put them, and I think the rest will be pretty well covered. Yep, okay, I forgot down here. There we go. I think that does it pretty well. Okay, yeah, the shadows are looking pretty good. So, again, this is a personal preference choice of whether or not you want to do that. But that's how you do it. If you need to go back in and work around it a little bit manually and touch it up. And so in here, you can also do, like, if you wanted, you could do like a tree. But, it looks kind of weird, I think, once you start doing it with these repeated forest tiles and everything. I just think it's a little bit strange to have it be all the time, like all the time with these big tall trunks, and then all of a sudden there's like, here's a random tree, but it's like it doesn't look anything like these, or oops, I didn't mean to do that. But so I don't know. If I'm using these auto tiles for the forest walls and the roof area or whatever you want to call it. And I want to put stuff in the middle. I tend to just do it like this, where it's it's one of the auto tile things itself, just to kind of aesthetically match, because I think that looks a little better personally. But of course, you can add in like little details and things on the grass, and make it look a little bit more lush by adding some foliage and things like that. And that's perfectly fine, however you want to do it. You could even do like a tree stump or something. Like, hey, there's a tree stump. There used to be a tree there. Not anymore. You can do these ones that are a little bit weathered and, looks like it's like moss growing on it or whatever, just to add a little bit more. There's these little fern-looking plants here. You can just kind of plop down, and if you're in a forest area, it's going to make sense to have stuff like that, because it's going to be a lot of growth and things there. We got some mushrooms we can throw in here, just little things here and there. Here's a dry, looks like maybe a dead plant or something, and this is another nice thing to add. You just do some leaves and things, because maybe you'd have, I don't know, some other tree. Actually, let's put that over by the old tree stump there. Maybe that was from the old tree or something. Maybe it's not that, it's a freshly cut down one or something. Who knows? You can just have an old log sitting there. So now it looks kind of weird. You can see, like, putting an event on top of a shadow like that, because the shadow doesn't go on top of the event. Like, even if I tried to do it that way, like, let me undo the shadow. See, it doesn't go on top of the B tabs, things that you draw on there. So that's one thing you want to kind of be careful of when you're placing things like a log. Like it just, the engine, RPG Maker MV engine, is not going to put a shadow on top of whatever's underneath it. It just doesn't work that way. So, you got to kind of be careful of that when you're in this sort of situation where you put it right on top of a shadow. So maybe like somewhere like here or something would be a better spot, so that you don't have that shadow situation going on. Whatever you think looks the best for your game. So trying to find the little pebbles and things. I thought they were on this section. Maybe is it in the C tab? Possibly. Yeah, maybe this is what I'm thinking of. No, they're not there. Oh, that's weird. Maybe it's the inside the town stuff. Because usually there was like a like these ones right here for the snow, but not snowy. I thought there was some. Oh, there they are. Okay, yeah. I was gonna say I thought there was some in there. So you can just do, just like the leaves, you can just do like, here's some random stones just right in the pathway, or whatever else. And we've got this little cluster of bushes and things, whatever that is. Plant life. And so, just to try to, add some variance to what everything looks like on your map. And again, just to make it, visually interesting.